3 minutes in, I'm going to start just covering the rest of them. Scryfall didn't have all the cards available for whatever reason yesterday, so I don't know. Just going to go over the rest of them anyway. Try not to double take on what I covered yesterday. I'm pretty sure I remember most of what I covered, but start with this Alchemist Gift. Target creatures +1/+1 and gains your choice of Death Touch or Lifelink until end of turn. We've got this kind of effect that doesn't see play. We got Blood Glutton, a 4 and a black for a 5/3 or 4/3 with Lifelink. It's a unique card, but it's a 5 mana thing that dies to Bolt and doesn't have an immune effect on the board. That's not going to see play. Bone Pit Brute. Don't think I covered this one yesterday. 4 red for a 4/5 with Menace. When it enters, target creatures +4/+0 until end of turn. Too much mana for Pauper. Rip. Cage Zombie. 2 and a black for a 2/3. With an activated ability, if each opponent loses 2 life, only activate this creature, or only activate this ability if the creature died this turn. Too much mana. Doesn't have haste. Not great. I'm going to come back to Crypt Lurker because I want to talk about that a little bit further. We got Forgotten Sentinel. It's a 4 mana for a 4/3 enters the battlefield tapped. Artifact creature. That's a limited card, folks. Gloom Sewer, 5 black for an 8/6. Thought we're getting a lot of fatties. It's always a fun thing to see. Make my Crawlworm. When Gloom Sewer enters the battle or becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That's a decent effect. Too much mana, but it's a decent effect. It's worth mentioning. I don't know that I covered Gnarled Sage, but 3 green for a 4/4 with reach. Already too much mana, really. As long as you draw 2 more cards, Gnarled Sage gets +0/+2 and has vigilance. So I mean, you can attack with it, but there's just better things to be doing, really. Goblin Wizardry. Again, don't remember if I covered this, but create 2/1/1, 3 in a red for create 2/1/1 red Goblin Wizards with prowess. Interesting. I'm curious. I can't think of a deck that really wants this, but it's interesting for sure. Got Hollow Fiend here. Hollow Fiend's a really interesting card because this actually might enable a new archetype. I think Hollow Fiend. It's 1 in a red for a 2/1 with trample, and it's 1. It has activated ability 1 mana, sacrifice another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Hollow Fiend. So yeah, black red aristocrats. That's the enabler right there. It can block, it can attack. I wish it was a goblin, but whatever. It's fine. Hunter's Edge. Put a +1/+1 counter target creature you control, then that creature deals damage equal to the power of the target creature you don't control. If this was an instant, it might see play, but it's a sorcery, so I don't think it's good enough. Got Keen Glidemaster. That's 1 in a blue for human soldier 2/1. Has activated ability 2 in a blue. Target creature can flying. Nah. I'm not even gonna really go over that. Masked Blackguard. 1 in a black for a flash 2/1. And 2 in a black, Masked Blackguard gets +1/+1 till end of turn. So there's 2 things with this card. One is it's a rogue. So there's a couple of rogue synergy cards that are worth mentioning. And the other thing is that it's a 2-drop in black. So this could actually fill out like a mono black controls curve. And it's threat. It can also just be used in like mono black aggro as an additional thing you can flash in at the end of their turn, so they can't, Chainer's Edict or Blackguard or whatever. Does he play? Probably not. But this is a lot of stuff happening on this one card. And I think it's worth keeping in mind. Read the Tides. This is 5 and a blue. I think I covered ornery Deloff. Anyway, read the Tides. Choose one, draw 3 cards, or return up to 2 creatures to their owner's hands. This is sorcery. Too slow for a sorcery, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to see play. Ornery Dinosaur. It's a 3 and a green for a Death Touch 2/2. And whenever it attacks, if you control a creature's power of 4 or greater, it has +2/+2 on turn. What I like about this is that it becomes a 4/4, and your opponent can't just like remove the creature and trick you into not attacking with it. Remove the 4-power creature and trick you not attacking with it. Doesn't see play. It's too much mana for Pauper, really, but it's neat. I want to talk about it. We have Ryze again. It's 4 and a black for return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a reanimator card. This actually might make a black reanimator strategy viable. Now, it's not as good as Exhume. It's not as good as, like, good old reanimate as a spell. But as a backup plan for when you don't draw your Exhume, this is good. This is really good. And I think people are underrating this. And I think it will definitely be a role player. I need to pop out the chat, don't I? I actually got people watching now. Slow mode. I'm a pro streamer, guys. Pro streamer. Was it just spam? Don't think I covered rookie mistake. It's a combat trick. Just get over it. It's not going to be played. Huh. Alright. Running foul or run afoul. Target opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. No, there's better flying hate cards out there. Sanguine Indulgence. Seen a couple people mention this. Spell costs 3 less if you gain 3 or more life this turn. And return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. There's better stuff in Pauper. Mostly like Unmake the Graves is better. Reaping the Graves. This asks a bit much of you to be played. What else is there? Trackdown. A lot of people are pretty high on this card. I think it's one of the cards that's most likely to see play. I don't know if it's good though. It's 1 in a green for Scry 3. Reveal the top card of your library. It's a creature land card. Draw it, or draw a card, I should say. You get to Scry 3 for 1, so you can, if you're flooded. I think it's mostly going to see like playing like elves if it does see play. Because you just want like critical mass creatures, and then you can scry like a Distant Melody to the top, and then scry a Timberwatch at the top, and you draw it, right? So you draw the Timberwatch, and then next turn you draw the Distant Melody or whatever. So people who play green more than I am can evaluate whether that's better than what they have available. I don't know. I think that I wanted to come back to this guy, Crypt Lurker. Crypt Lurker enters the battlefield. You may sacrifice a creature or discard a creature card. If you do, draw a card. 3 and a black for a 3/4 horror. I think it's playable in Tordex. So it both acts as a sacrifice outlet and a discard outlet in a black color, which means that I can go and sacrifice a Tilling Tree Folk, or I can discard a Grave Scrabbler, and then I can draw the card. I think it's probably only like a 1 of, because it's kind of like a good card to have, and it'll also like leverage your advantage whenever you got it. But you can also just jam it out as a 3/4, and sacrifice a tree folk that you played on turn 3, or just draw the card. Then you can also just discard a Stinkweed Imp and then dredge. So I think this is actually playable in Tordex. It's debatable whether Tordex is playable itself, but I think it's playable in Tordex if it is. So this card's really good. And then I covered the Llanowar Visionary before, which is really good. I'm going to see playing Tordex. And then I also covered the Village Rites, which is just cheaper Altar's Reap. So, which I'm also going to try out in Tordex. I guess that's about it. For the stream. I'm gonna go to the familiars. Let's jam out some games. Raw 105. What deck do I want to play? Minimize MTG.